Hi guys, and welcome to my new World of Warcraft channel.
Excuse me. As I was saying, welcome to my new World of Warcraft channel. The MMO juggernaut World of Warcraft was first released in 2004, but most would argue that it wasn't a complete game until pet battling was released during the Mists of Pandaria expansion back in 2012. Retail World of Warcraft is still enjoyed by dozens upon dozens across the world, and one such enjoyer is me. In this brand new series I'll be catching them all, M being every battle pet available in every zone. The challenge takes heavy inspiration from the Nuzlocke rule set in Pokémon. If you're not familiar with Nuzlocke, let's go over the rules. Rule number 1. Every pet from every zone must be caught, but seasonal pets can be skipped. When the event happens, for example Hallow's End, which is soon, I must go back to catch the pet. Rule number 2. Every caught pet must be rare, so if it's not blue, it's crap. And rule number 3, I need to nickname each pet with the first name that I think of. And finally, every pet tamer in the zone must be defeated before I can leave. World quests and daily quests can be repeated, but every other pet tamer is only able to be defeated once. Stick around, because at the end of the video there'll be a vote to determine the next zone. And did you know, if you're on desktop and I say the word subscribe, the button lights up. I've always wondered if it lights up multiple times in a row, so let's test it. Subscribe, 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 subscribe. So let me know in the comments if your desk caught fire. And strap in, strap on and strap even, because it's time to duel. I made a fresh account for this challenge, and here's the character, Nuzlocked. Naming things is a skill that I don't have. My pet journal, like my motivation, is completely blank. So here we go, Nuzlocke. Because I'm lazy, I did very little research on this challenge, and I thought I'd just be able to log in and start collecting pets. But no. It's been about a decade since I've been a new player, and I completely forgot that pet battling is a skill that you need to unlock with currency. I went over to Wowhead to check how much I'd need, and it said I needed a whopping 10 gold, so welcome to Goldbound. As I'd find out after grinding a whole 2 gold, Wowhead was completely wrong, and I only needed 9 silver, 50 copper. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before all of that, I was running around Nuzlocke looking for battle pets and not finding any. I decided to go to the stable master in Elwynn Forest as a logical choice. She couldn't help me, so instead I went to Stormwind to ask one of the guards as a last resort. And finally, a guard was able to point me in the direction of Audrey Burnhep. If that name sounds familiar, it's because Audrey is the name of a saint that died in the year 679. In this footage, you can see the exact moment that I'd realised I'd screwed up and needed money. It's just like that scene in Pokémon where Ash has no money, so Professor Oak gives him a Pikachu. Did you know, gaming facts aside, I did a bit of questing, unlocked pet battling, and headed over to Marcus Jensen in Elwynn Forest for our first pet quest. Before we continue, I should just point out, for this challenge I'm using an add-on called Pet Tracker. You can see it on the right hand side of the screen. It shows all of the pets available in the zone. In Elwynn Forest there are 15 total pets available, 12 of which I can catch today and 3 of which are seasonal pets. The quest is called Learning the Ropes, and I don't read quest text, so I think it's something about rope making. I went off in search for my first battle pet. This is where I realised I'd made mistake number 2. You cannot battle a battle pet if you don't have a pet to battle. I'm desperately trying not to research anything for this challenge just to make it more interesting, and I was painfully racking my brains to try to work out where I can get a battle pet from. Then I realised I can buy one from Audrey Burnhep. While editing the video, I realised I'd made another mistake. At this very point in time, my character was about 5 meters away from Marcus Jensen. He just so happens to sell battle pets, but instead of going to see him, I went all the way to Stormwind instead. Audrey sells orange tabby cats. So I got one and called it Tabitha, our first battle pet, our Pikachu. Now we're ready to battle. Or so I thought. I was about to make mistake number 4. I was playing on a trial account because I'm not just lazy, but I'm also incredibly cheap, and I was trying to save myself a subscription. Little did I realise, trial accounts can't pet battle, so I had to begrudgingly give over money to Activision Blizzard King Microsoft, or whatever they call themselves these days. By the way, here's a fun fact. Did you know if you have a trial account and you pay a subscription, you then need to wait 24 hours before pet battling is unlocked? So 24 hours later, £10 lighter, I was ready to start the adventure finally. I decided to grind Tabitha to level 5 because we'd soon be battling the first pet tamer, Julia Marcus. I didn't know what level Julia Marcus's pets would be, so I thought to be safe I'd grind all of the pets in the zone to level 5. I was now ready to hand in the quest, Learning the Ropes to Marcus Jensen. In return, he gave me another quest, which is a bit like when you're doing the dishes and someone puts an extra plate in. Anyway, the quest was to go back to the stable master in Goldshire, so I did that, healed my pets up, and that was the quest done. Nice and easy. The next quest was to get a pet to level 3, which I'd already done, so that was an instant completion. That's got to be the best moment in WoW. Finally, we get to the fun quests. Catch a pet. The rules state that we need to catch a rare pet, so I spent some time searching and I found this blue quality squirrel. I have no idea what this S and B means that's shown by Pet Tracker. I feel like it's nature's from Pokémon, but since I'm only going to catch the first blue pet in each zone, it doesn't really matter. I needed to bring the squirrel's health down low enough to catch, but the second attack brought it down to only 2 HP. It hung on for dear life, so I was able to throw a crate, catch it first time, and that's our first caught pet. I decided to name it Tails. Now that I've caught a pet, I can head back to Marcus Jensen and complete that quest. On the way back from him, there was a big fight going on in Goldshire, which just served to remind me that it's an MMO, and even though it feels like it, I'm not the only one. Now it's time for caught pet number 2, a small frog. Took it down without too much trouble, and when it was time to throw the crate, I caught it again first time. So that's our second pet caught, our third in total, a small frog called Ribbit. Now it's time to catch pet number 4, a rare rabbit. I'm hoping once the pet levels go up, it should be a bit more of a challenge, especially when there's 3 in the party. I threw the crate, caught it first time. We are now a third of the way through the list for Elwyn Forest with pet number 4, a rabbit called Peter. While exploring Elwyn Forest, I came across this house. It appeared to belong to a crazy cat lady. But the thing that concerned me is that there were cats on the roof. Total madness. I went into the house to yell at her, and it turns out she sells 3 of the cats that we need, so I quickly forgot about the hazard on the roof and got to uncrating those cats. From her we got 3 cats. A Bombay cat, which I named Comey, a Cornish Rex cat, which I named C. Rex, and a Silver Tabby cat, which I named Sylvia. Just realised that if they have Cornish cats in this game, it means there's a Cornwall in Azeroth. Now it's a big upgrade to our list, took us up to 7, with only 5 more to go. While rare hunting, I found this chicken, and Blizzard, why did you use that image? Again, this is another easy battle, another first time crate, and we are now the proud owners of a chicken, which I decided to name Chirpy. Next up on the list was this rare fawn. It wasn't long until it was in our crate. I decided to name it Thorn. This entire time I'd been running around like a headless chicken. Sorry Chirpy. I had no idea that I could get a mount from this area in Elwyn Forest, so I picked up 3 horses like I was starting an outlaw gang. There were only a couple of pets in Elwyn Forest that I thought were actually a challenge, and I'd say the hardest one for me was this cat. It only spawns 1 at a time in 1 location, which means a lot of waiting around, and even longer if you're waiting for a rare. After roughly an hour, I kid you not, it was about an hour, I managed to find this rare cat. The battle was a bit closer than I'd like, but I got it down to low health, threw the crate, and the cat was ours. I decided to name it Jellicle. Stormwind is home to a couple of pets which aren't on the list. Firstly, there's the trading post, which is great for FOMO pets. It had a limited edition pet called Claudius, which I didn't rename as I already quite liked the name. While I was in Stormwind, I went back to Audrey Burnhep to complete that quest, and there was one more quest nearby to unlock an Alliance balloon, sadly not battleable yet. It was time to finally battle our first pet tamer, Julia Marcus. I went into this as if I was about to battle the Elite 4. I did absolutely no research into Julia. For all I knew, her pets could be level 10, they could have some really powerful attacks. But going into the battle I realised I had nothing to worry about. Her pets were only level 2, and frankly that's pathetic. She only had 2 of them. I felt a bit like a playground bully with my 3 level 5 pets, but with that we'd won our first pet battle, and the only pet tamer in the zone, Julia Marcus. After pummeling her team into submission, she gave me a sack of pet supplies to say thank you, and she doxed the location of another pet tamer, Old MacDonald. For some reason, it took me a long time to find a rare version of this black lamb. It has a lot of spawn points on the map, but it was just elusive. Caught it first time. Decided to name it Mary. The final pet we needed in the zone was a Stormwind rat. The map shows that they spawn around Hogger, but I waited there for absolutely ages and couldn't find one. The name subtly implies that they're found in Stormwind, so I went up to Stormwind and found one fairly quickly near the old town. I decided to name it Willard. We finally had all of the pets that we could currently obtain in Elwyn Forest. Seasonal pets I'll have to come back for. The vendor pets that we got are green, so I'll have to upgrade them with a battle stone in future. Elwyn Forest complete. All rare pets caught. 1 tamer defeated. Gold spent. As promised, it's now time to hand over the choice for the next zone to you. Please comment below if you'd like to see Westfall next, or Red Ridge Mountains. Or there's a third choice. I've got another account parked up ready to go with a Horde character, so let me know if you'd rather see a Horde run instead of the weak-kneed Alliance. If you've made it this far, I admire your tenacity. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Fare thee well.